So Robert, nice to meet you today.
Thank you.
We
Thank
know
you,
each other
Thomas.
now, I think, since 5 years.
Absolutely.
It's a long time. Robert, first question. Are you tired from the last years?
That's an interesting question.
Yeah.
You know what? I am tired from the last years, but it's a good tired. I've been working very, very hard the last few years, making things happen for me in business, and trying to recover from some of the sad things I've seen take place at the cathedral over the last few years.
Robert, I'm allowed to go back 1 second only.
Sure.
With the last years, what was the most hurting point you experienced?
The most hurting point I experienced was having my own mother and father turn against me. That was the most painful thing.
Yeah.
That was very difficult. I think beyond that, the most painful thing is just seeing unfold what I knew was going to unfold, which means that the cathedral has now been sold, and the cathedral had to file bankruptcy.
Yeah.
And it didn't have to happen. So that was the second most painful thing.
So let me go to the one point, and I think a lot of people know this point. This hurt of relation in the family. So how could you handle this point? Because I have a father too, and I know how hard this must be. How could you handle this? What would you recommend people out here which are listening today to us?
You know, it was very difficult. The good news is I've always surrounded myself with a lot of good friends.
Okay.
So
I have your first point, right?
Yeah.
Have good friends.
Have good friends.
Okay.
I've invested a lot into friends.
Okay.
The name of my boat is Friendship, and so there's a reason for that. Friendship is very important to me. I value my friendship.
Yeah.
So I'm involved with a small group Bible study, and they were my friends that really supported me during that time. I encourage people to be involved in something like that, and to allow yourself to be vulnerable to those kinds of things. So that's really important. In addition to that, I have a really good relationship with my children. And they're adult. They're all adult children.
I know them.
Exactly. So I just really much enjoy.
So what you're saying to me, Robert, is that you say, if it's something it's broken, you shouldn't stop to keep family in your responsibilities. Is right?
Well, you cannot control other people.
No.
You cannot control your parents. You cannot control your children. You cannot control your friends. People around you, you cannot control. And so if you try to control other people, it's going to backfire. And it's going to cause more pain. You just have to accept people and their actions, and then make decisions based upon those things.
And to be a good model and values for them, right? For the children.
You will definitely want to be a good model for your children. Absolutely.
So the point would be very interesting, I think, for our customers. Movie is, how could you handle this hurtness, to be hurt with a father, and to go with him in a new development? How did you do it?
Well, the pain for me took place in July 9.
Yeah.
And I started my business in October, and really started really put into full gear in December. So I had 6 months to recuperate between the pain of the betrayal and the time I really started to put in the effort and work again. 6 months.
Yeah.
That's not a long time, but it was because it took me longer than that to feel totally well. But it took me that long to be able to make the adjustments where I could actually get up and be functional again. I would tell people. I would tell people in July, August, September, October, that the things I'm telling you, the things I'm talking about, you have to realize I am dysfunctional right now.
Yeah. It means is to take time for you first, to take time.
You have to be self-reflective, and,
Okay.
and you have to definitely take time to heal.
So first step is to take time, okay.
Well, yeah, if you break your leg, you're not going to go out and run a marathon.
Right, you're right. Oh no, it's impossible. I know this is impossible.
You would know.
Yes, I would.
You have to allow your leg to heal.
Okay.
And if your heart's been broken, you have to allow your heart
take
to
time.
break.
What happens
and even
then?
though you can't see it.
Yeah.
So it comes to a point where you start to test it. You go, hey, this doesn't hurt so bad.
Okay. Yeah.
You put a little more weight on it. Oh, this doesn't hurt so bad. And then slowly, pretty soon you're walking, and then you're running, and
so
then you're back into the...
Did you go active to your father then?
Yes, I have been.
Okay. You were the active part?
Yes.
So it need forgiveness? Does it mean forgiveness?
Yes. My son actually, on a year ago Father's Day, so 18 months ago,
okay.
My son said he thinks there's an opportunity here for reconciliation between me and my parents.
Yeah.
And just before Father's Day, which is in June, he had my mother and my father and my wife and I together in his home, and he facilitated a meeting of reconciliation.
Wonderful.
So it was good. It was very good.
So, and how was the conversation with your father then?
It was, at that time, it was very... I was very cautious, very reserved, and since then we've done a few other things together.
Yeah.
And as time progresses, our relationship continues to improve.
It's wonderful. Yeah. That's great, right?
Yes, it is.
So if you reflect all this period, are you grown through this period? Are you grown? Did you learn a lot for the future now?
I believe I have learned tremendous amount of about people.
Okay. What did you learn about people? What is the most important point you learned about people?
I'd say that people have different motivations.
Okay. That means?
So you have to, motivations meaning that you have to really understand what's going to really make people move.
Okay.
What's going to what really helps people put things into action.
Okay.
I've discovered that you can't really bank on a lot of what people tell you.
Okay.
I've been in the last 3 years. I've really been involved in business dealings, and I've had more promises than you could ever imagine.
I can imagine, Robert. I can.
And more promises that the money's coming, and that I'm going to invest in this company, and it never shows up, and they don't do it.
Yeah.
So I don't count anything until the money clears.
Yeah.
Even a check, I don't even trust the check until it clears.
You shouldn't. I can tell. Yes.
So
it means look clear, look, check exactly the things. Is this what you meaning? Check the Bible?
No, I think just you have to.
Yeah.
Where I'm at from a financial and business stance today.
Yeah.
Is that it's not over until the money clears.
Okay.
It's not over, and it's not a signed deal until, even though the signatures are on there, until they actually back it up with some actions and some reality, it's not there.
So, Robert, if I hear this, you are saying it's very important to have good people in your area. To have.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. So, if you say you are going now forward, what is the most important thing for you in the future now? What motivates you?
Well, I'm really excited about going and sharing with people how they can discover the way God takes negative things and turns it into positive things.
Okay.
Because I am convinced, without a shadow of a doubt, that God is real, that He's alive, that He's active, that He's making a difference in people's lives. As a result of that, I'm convinced that when it looks like you're down to nothing, that when you're in that bottomless pit, that God is up to something, and that He's going to do something amazing in your life, and He's going to turn things around.
So I think if I hear this, you're saying this bad thing turns around to a new power and new visions and new energy for you?
Yes.
Is it true?
Yes.
Great.
Yeah.
So if you have wishes for tomorrow, for a real vision, And projects. Do you have practical operative project right now?
Yeah,
you want to go on?
I'm looking forward to coming to Germany.
Hey, great.
Yeah, and having an event in Germany that's
Yes.
going to really make a difference.
Wonderful.
I want to shake the hands of the Germans.
Yeah.
I want to sign my books. I want to tell them about God and how God works, and I want to encourage them to feel the spirit of life that is real and alive.
Wonderful. What do you think? What do the people need for the future more and more? What do you think? What is the need of people? If it depends on the spirituality, of soul, of spirit. What do you think?
People definitely need the spirit of soul, the spirit of life.
Okay.
They definitely need an understanding of how God cares and loves them.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's first and foremost. People have to understand that God created them for a purpose and for a reason.
Wonderful.
That God has given them the ability and the strength to accomplish the goals that He has given to them. And that if they hold on to that faith and continue to move forward, that they will break through the walls and the challenges that they have in order to be the people that God's called them to be. And if you ever get to a point where it's impossible to break through a wall, then you have to realize that you're in a place where God wants you to be, and that's why you're not breaking through those walls.
So, if I hear you, Robert, I can hear the preacher of the future. Do we experience Robert Schuller again as a preacher and speaker all over the world? What do you think?
Yeah, I know that's going to happen. Yes.
Hey, great.
Absolutely. My wife told me that when
Yeah.
we went through this thing, she had a vision from God, and the vision was that I'm going to continue to preach internationally, and I have been actually. I've been going around the world preaching internationally.
That's what you did. And what you will do, huh?
I have been. Yes, I was in Brazil this year. I was in Kenya.
Okay.
I was in Brazil. I was in Mongolia, and I was in Korea.
Wow,
preaching.
To whom did you speak?
I was preaching to all the largest churches in these countries.
Hey, so we could be proud to have you next year in Germany, or?
I need to go to Germany.
Wonderful.
I want to go to Germany. So, God's calling me to Germany, so I have no
hey,
choice. It's going to happen. It's going to happen.
No.
And then not only that, He had to pair me up with a wild man like you. So it's definitely going to happen.
So thank you very much for this interview. It was a great time with you together.
Thank you, Thomas.
Next year, 29th of July, in the Port of St. Patrick's in Karlsruhe in Germany. We see each other in a good German beer. Is it okay for you?
That sounds perfect. July.
July. Okay.
July it is.
My friend, thank you very much.
2012. July 2012.
29th, don't forget. 29th.
29th, absolutely, the 29th, yes.
A pleasure, and we look forward to see you. Okay?
Perfect.